On May 25, 1989, a 10-year-old girl walked to a grocery store close to her home in Statesville to buy candy. She had done this before and never had any issues, but when she never made it home, her family knew something was wrong. She was found murdered on the shores of Lake Norman a few days later, and her case has never officially been solved. Was her killer someone she knew, someone she trusted, or was an eyewitness who came under suspicion and later charged in an unrelated case the one responsible? There is much to love about North and South Carolina, but the two states have also had their fair share of violent and senseless crimes over the years. From murders on the Blue Ridge Parkway, in the heart of big cities or sleepy college towns, and along the coastal waters, some of these stories may be new to you. Some may have happened in your town. Some may involve people that are still missing to this day. But all will leave you remembering to always be vigilant about the people you meet and the places you go. I'm Renee Robertson. Please join me for Missing in the Carolinas. Episode 178, Who Killed Cora Lee Hamby? On May 25, 1989, 10-year-old Cora Hamby left her family's residence and walked to a nearby Food Lion grocery store in the Southland Shopping Center on Shelton Avenue in Statesville. It was 8 p.m. and the sun had not yet set. Once at the store, Cora used a payphone to call and ask her older sister what kind of candy she wanted. Cora, who stood around 5 feet 1 inch tall and weighed 87 pounds, had long dark brown hair and blue-green eyes. She was wearing a dark blue shirt, white shorts, and white tennis shoes. Her fingernails were painted a pearly pink. She had planned to return home after picking out candy, but by 10 p.m., she hadn't returned and her parents contacted the local police. Cora Lee Hamby was born on August 24, 1978, the daughter of James and Unsie Hamby. She had one sister, Elizabeth Nadine Hamby, who lived with the family in Statesville, and a half-sister, Geraldine Moore, from Statesville. Cora had begun kindergarten at Monticello School, where she earned the Reading Award for her class for the 1985-86 school year. She had an aptitude for math as well. The state of North Carolina eventually took the family's home on Bristol Drive to make way for an extension of Industrial Drive, and the family moved school districts. The fifth grader had been attending Avery Sherrill School, where her teacher described her as a hardworking student and a lovable child who got along well with her peers and her teachers. She'd recently made the terrific kid list for students who displayed exceptional citizenship. She was a member of Bristol Drive Baptist Church. Cora had been looking forward to a fun summer full of adventure. An adult sister was going to take her to Lake Lure, and their church was planning a trip to Carowinds, with Cora planning to ride every ride she could. She also intended to spend many hours at the Garfield Recreation Center pool, where she'd taken swimming lessons the previous summer. She had a special love for animals, especially dogs and horses. The Statesville Police Department and an agent from the FBI's Charlotte Field office quickly joined forces in the search for Cora. After canvassing the Food Lion and the surrounding neighborhood, they told the public they believed Cora had gotten into a vehicle in the store parking lot. Several witnesses saw a girl they thought was Cora enter a car with multiple people inside, but they couldn't give an adequate description of the vehicle or its passengers. A tracking team from nearby Burke County and bloodhounds and searchers from the Alexander Department of Corrections searched the woods of South Statesville the day after Cora went missing, but turned up no leads. In the days following her disappearance, investigators received additional information about the vehicle Cora may have gotten into at the Food Lion parking lot. According to eyewitnesses, it was a blue 1977 four-door Chevrolet Chevette with a wide blue racing stripe. Two men with shoulder-length brown hair and a heavy-set blonde woman were in the car. As police continued to talk to people in the area, the description of this mysterious vehicle also included a blue-gray Volkswagen Rabbit and light blue Sunbird. The description of its passengers, however, remained consistent. 3 days after Cora went missing, a fisherman discovered her deceased body lying on some rocks in a cove near the Cat's Paw development of Lake Norman. She was still wearing the clothes she'd left her house in, but although she was wearing socks, she had no shoes on. Her body appeared to have been in the water for several days. As investigators worked to uncover who could have been responsible for the unspeakable tragedy in their town, her family prepared to lay her to rest on May 31, 1989. The principal of Avery Sherrill Elementary School, Charles Hauser, made plans for 20 of Cora's classmates from her class at school to attend her funeral. They were transported by activity bus along with the 6th grade class of Elizabeth Hamby, Cora's 12-year-old sister. Counselors with Statesville City Schools had spent a day with Avery Sherrill students after the discovery of Cora's body, answering questions and helping them process the loss of their classmate. The North Carolina medical examiner at the time stated Cora's death was the result of foul play. The Statesville Police Chief, Robert Warshaw, declined to release any other information about the 10-year-old's death. In June of 1989, the Charlotte Observer reported that Cora Hamby's cause of death was listed as asphyxiation on her death certificate. The official autopsy at the time was still incomplete. The week prior, detectives from Statesville and the State Bureau of Investigation had searched 2 vehicles in the Statesville home of a 34-year-old man named Robert Lee Brooks. According to the search warrant, investigators were looking for carpet samples, fibers, and fingerprints. They searched a 1973 Ford Pinto station wagon and a dark blue 1970s model Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Police questioned Robert, his girlfriend, 28-year-old Gloria Fowler Anderson, and Gloria's 2 children. The children, a 9-year-old boy and a 6-year-old girl, told police they went with the couple on May 27th to see Cora's body at Lake Norman. The search warrant stated the children said, "We went there and saw her dead in the water. Mama, Daddy, and her brother were with me, and we seen her." The 9-year-old boy told investigators they choked Cora and did not use a gun or a knife. The warrant didn't specify who they were. The children were then placed in custody of the Iredell County Department of Social Services. Laboratory tests performed by the SBI found blue carpet fibers and pieces of zinc on Cora's socks. The warrant stated that zinc can be found in an area where auto body work is performed, and Robert Brooks told police he worked with automobiles in his backyard. The couple's home was about 2 blocks from where Cora lived with her family in South Statesville. The Statesville community held a benefit for the Cora Lee Hamby Reward Fund held at Lakewood Park in late June of 1989. People were asked to donate whatever they could afford and in return received half chickens, beans, and slaw. But organizers soon realized the 500 half chickens they'd purchased for the benefit wasn't going to be enough. They began to divide up the chickens so they would be able to feed more people. The local Chamber of Commerce served approximately 700 box lunches and ran out of food by 1:30 p.m. People still showed up and donated without receiving anything in return, raising $4,306, an amount that was added to the $10,000 the Greater Statesville Crime Stoppers was offering for any tips leading to an arrest in Cora Hamby's murder. According to Cora Hamby's finalized autopsy report, her official cause of death was asphyxiation. The medical examiner presumed the young girl had been choked to death. He also found evidence of external bruising on her genitalia, but not enough to conclude a sexual assault had taken place. As could be expected, the residents of Cora's neighborhood were fearful, and rumors swirled throughout the streets. Who had taken Cora? Was it someone she knew? Would they come back for another child? A senior resident told the Charlotte Observer that children had ceased playing on their front porches and riding their bicycles in the street after Cora was abducted and murdered. "It's lonesome time around here since Cora left," she said. "There just aren't any children." Agents with the Charlotte Bureau of the FBI released a psychological profile on Cora's killer to the Statesville Police Department, but they declined to say what the profile contained as a way to maintain the integrity of the investigation. Before we continue, let's take a quick break for a word from our sponsors. Skincare shouldn't be complicated. Clean doesn't mean weak. Those are the words of Erin Sanderson, creator of the SkinX Erin products offered by Midnight Riff. She describes the line as born from obsession and built for results. I love Erin Sanderson's skincare line so much, I became an ambassador so I could earn a small commission off telling everyone just how much I appreciate the pre-cleanse oil, hydrating beauty oil, and perfecting night oil. My skin is acne-free, even in the throes of perimenopause, and looking brighter and more youthful than ever. On average, the oils last around 3 months, and despite their names, they won't make your skin oily. Try them out for yourself with my code MissingCarolinas10 for 10% off your order. I've been struggling with my weight for years, especially once I hit my 40s and the dreaded perimenopause. As my weight continued to increase, I made excuse after excuse. I work out all the time. I get in my steps every day. I eat healthy most of the time. Well, most of the time wasn't cutting it and I needed help. I'd had success with Weight Watchers in the past and decided to give it a try again. I quickly learned it was the mindless snacking I was doing in the evenings that was contributing to my weight gain. Weight Watchers makes it easy to track foods and meals on their app, and they have numerous plans designed to fit your needs, whether you're just looking to learn more about nutrition, lose a few pounds, or embark on a program that includes GLP-1 options. I've been doing their core program for 2 months and have taken advantage of all the 0-point foods like eggs, Greek yogurt, turkey, chicken, fresh vegetables, fruits, and more. I love that the app also helps you track your macros, which is something it didn't include in the past, and provides quick and easy recipes. I've been on the program for 2 months and have lost 10 pounds. I'm almost to my goal weight now and feeling great. Weight Watchers doesn't tell you what to eat, they tell you how to eat, and I never feel restricted. I eat what I love, and you can too. Check out my referral link in the show notes for your chance to receive your first 3 months free with select plan purchase, not valid for WW Med Plus plans and services. And now, let's get back to the show. Cora's parents, Unsie and James Hamby, sat for an interview with a reporter for the Statesville Record and Landmark in late September of 1989, 3 months after their daughter was found murdered. Her mother said in the year before she was abducted, Cora, normally a fearless and happy-go-lucky child, had begun experiencing night terrors. She began going into her parents' bedroom at night and asking to sleep with them. She even did this on an evening when she had friends in the house for a sleepover, which her mother said was really out of character. One sad note from this interview was that the family dog, a Chihuahua named Trixie, had gone into mourning after Cora never came home. The Hambys said Trixie had lost her appetite and seldom strayed from a spot beside the upright piano in the home, where Cora had taken lessons for a year. Her parents also said Cora had been taught to be cautious of strangers, and they didn't believe she would have gotten into a car willingly with someone she didn't know. Because of that, Unsie said she thought Cora must have known the person who abducted her, or was at least familiar with them as an acquaintance. Her mother said she'd had to tell Cora in the past, "Not everybody is your friend." They're not. This issue of the Statesville Record and Landmark also published a sidebar of 10 abduction prevention tips for parents to share with their children. The same news package also included an article titled, "Neighborhood Programs Give Children Peace of Mind. Fingerprinting is only one part of the answer." The article discussed how fingerprinting children was being sold as the epitome of child safety and the prevention of missing children. But, as the author of the article pointed out, child fingerprinting does not prevent abduction or help a child make their way back home. Fingerprints are most commonly used to identify an unidentified body or confirm a living child's identity. The article stressed that parents should instead strive to keep updated information on hand about their child, such as height, weight, hair color, eye color, distinguishing features, blood type, a recent photograph, etc., nearby in case of an emergency. A month after Cora's murder, Roger Lee Brooks married his girlfriend Gloria Anderson. They had moved to Gaston County after police searched their home looking for clues tying them to Cora. Gloria attended several court hearings after her children were taken away by Child Protective Services. Roger was eventually arrested and charged with taking indecent liberties with a child. The child was 6 years old when the incident occurred, and Roger was accused of touching the girl inappropriately while she was clothed. He was released on a $20,000 bond. I had wondered how Roger Brooks and his then-girlfriend Gloria attracted the attention of Statesville police in the first place. I found my answer in an article that ran in the Charlotte Observer on January 10th. Roger Brooks, who was an ordained minister, had gone to the police to tell them he saw Cora at the grocery store the night she disappeared. In the months following Cora's murder, Roger Brooks was arrested and indicted on the indecent liberties charges. The couple had the children taken away by the county, they relocated to Gastonia, and both had trouble holding down jobs due to the publicity surrounding the case. On January 28, 1990, a couple wrote a letter to the editor in the Charlotte Observer. It read, "We are writing this letter concerning Roger Lee Brooks, who has been wrongly accused of child molestation and referred to as a suspect in the Cora Hamby murder case. We have known Roger for more than 11 years and feel the public should know that he is not the type of man to do these horrible things. Roger is a kind, loving Christian man who I do not feel could harm any child. We have preached in the same church and worshiped together often. We feel a bad mistake has been made in the accusations of Roger, and that in this case our justice system is being extremely unfair. Signed, the Reverend John and Shirley James, Bessemer City. Roger Brooks adamantly denied his involvement in Cora's murder and accused the Statesville Police Department of harassment. In the months after police searched his home and vehicles, he told reporters he had trouble sleeping, holding down a job, and frequently visited the hospital for medicine to help calm his nerves. He claimed he and his wife were being railroaded by the police, who had no proof of their involvement in the abduction and murder. Gloria Brooks told the Charlotte Observer that if she thought Roger was capable of what happened to Cora, she wouldn't be married to him. His mother said her son, who'd never had more than a speeding ticket, was innocent, and she had spent more than $6,000 to help him pay for court costs and attorney's fees. A jury found him guilty of the indecent liberties charge, and he served 2 years in prison from 1993 to 1995. From what I can tell, Gloria's children were eventually returned to their mother's custody. Roger Lee Brooks was never officially charged in Cora Lee Hamby's murder, and the case eventually went cold. Roger Brooks died of a heart attack in 2000. A year after Cora's death, Statesville Police Chief Bob Warshaw said the case was still actively being investigated, although the task force initially formed after Cora was found deceased had been disbanded. He said they believed from the very beginning that Cora's case was an isolated incident, but still urged parents to always be mindful of the whereabouts of their children. One of the things that struck me most about Cora's story was hearing how the Statesville community enveloped her family and took care of them any way they could after her death. Cora's 5th grade teacher hand-delivered school portraits of Cora to her family. She'd worn a pink ribbon in her hair that day and had been proud of it. Delmar Studio, which had taken the photo, sent extra photographs as well as negatives to Cora's parents. The 2 elementary schools Cora had attended, Monticello and Avery Sherrill, purchased a bronze marker for Cora's grave. The Monticello PTA bought a set of World Book encyclopedias for the school and dedicated the set in Cora's memory. A teacher took Cora's sister shopping for school clothes at the start of the next school year. After reading about Cora's disappearance, murder, and the subsequent investigation, I have a lot of questions, as I'm sure you do too. It's hard to find any information about Cora's case after the late 1990s. It doesn't look like it's actively listed as a cold case with the Iredell County Sheriff's Office. I only learned Roger Brooks had died after reading a post by a user named AbandonedNC on websleuths.com. This user also posted an undated photo of then Statesville Police Lieutenant Mike Grant at Cora's grave that was featured in the Statesville Record and Landmark. In the caption of the photo, Lieutenant Grant said, "We know who did it, we just didn't have the evidence." Here are a few of my questions. Was there someone in Cora's neighborhood that had been grooming or trying to get close to the 10-year-old? Would this explain why she'd been having trouble sleeping and seeking comfort from her parents in the months before her abduction and murder? Her mother did say she was outgoing and a friendly child, and a perpetrator could have taken advantage of that. Had Cora crossed paths with Roger Brooks, his then-girlfriend, and her children since they lived in the same neighborhood? Who were the 3 people in the car witnesses saw in the Food Lion parking lot, and did Cora actually get in the car with them? The description of the passengers does not match the photos I've seen of Roger and Gloria Brooks. When investigators learned Roger had died in 2000, did they unofficially close the investigation because they assumed the person responsible was deceased? Was Roger Brooks, as he claimed to the local media, railroaded for this crime? I'm very interested in how Roger's stepchildren were interrogated during the investigation. Were the police assisted by any child psychologists? Were there any leading questions offered up to the children, who were only 6 and 9 years old at the time? The statements police said they made that were shared in the search warrants seemed very odd to me. Were there ever any other suspects in Cora's murder other than Roger Brooks? I have yet to learn about any, other than the 3 people witnessed in the Food Lion parking lot talking to Cora. If anyone related to the investigation of Cora Hamby's murder would like to speak on the record, or if any of her friends and family members have any memories of that time period and the subsequent investigation, you can reach out to me through my website at missinginthecarolinas.com. This brings us to the conclusion of this episode of Missing in the Carolinas. If you enjoyed this episode, please do me a favor and give it a 5-star rating wherever you listen to your podcasts. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, so please like our pages and get started on a discussion of the missing people profiled on the show. Do you know of a missing persons case in North or South Carolina that you think should be covered? Email me at missinginthecarolinas@gmail.com with any details you can share. Cover art for this podcast was designed by Macintosh Multimedia. All episodes are researched and written by me, Renee Robertson, with sound editing provided by Daniel Robertson. Jenna Browse is the social media coordinator and research assistant. Thanks so much for listening.